You've lived the same boring life for as long as you can remember. You've tried to search for meaning, do things the normal way, fight the system, give up, try again, lose again, and relive the cycle for as long as you can remember. And then, one day, you realize that you don't have the strength to do it anymore. Something needs to change. Something needs to be different. Living a normal life is no longer a choice for you. You want to find the way out, but there isn't one. This is what a spiritual awakening feels like. You don't just wake up one day with mastery of every spiritual secret there is. There is no button or switch in your psyche that downloads metaphysical knowledge into your consciousness. You wake up one day and everything feels like shit. Let's talk in a slightly more sophisticated language. Let's say your life is your magnum opus, the great work of alchemy. The magnum opus is the process through which an alchemist seeks to produce the philosopher's stone, a substance believed to have the power to turn base metals into gold. Here I'm using the great work as a symbolic journey of spiritual transformation, a journey towards ascension, since that is what we currently tend to believe is the purpose of spiritual awakening. We'll discuss that a bit more in another explainer. For now, let's get back to our analogy. The first stage of the work is, surprise, surprise, putrefaction and decay. This is officially known as nigredo, and its main keyword is blackness. This is when the structures around you stop making sense. Your safety net, if you ever had one, starts feeling problematic. There seems to be no logic behind everything that's happening in your life. You see assholes for the assholes they are. You see the failure of every system you trusted. You are now all alone. It's not that the failures themselves are new, but this is the first time you are seeing the problem with them and all its layers. Congratulations, you're having a spiritual awakening. Based on my understanding, which is far from perfect, this is what we call the dark night of the soul in contemporary New Age language. The next stage is purification. In alchemy, the official name for this is albedo, and the main keyword is whiteness. Now that nothing around you makes sense and you're done sitting in the dark, you search for meaning, find alternative support systems, and begin to make peace with the darkness you just experienced. This is when your healing begins. You start having extraordinary or spiritual experiences. This stage is also when many people start experiencing their psychic senses or spiritual gifts more consciously. You've always had these gifts, but now you're actively testing and using them, rather than them simply passively guiding your intuition. No one gains mastery over these gifts overnight. So this stage may simply start as a series of extraordinary experiences that you can't otherwise explain. This stage is also when many people start searching for spirit guides, spiritual teachers, or gurus, their holy guardian angel, or, depending on the path they are on, communities like covens, occult study groups, and so on. When it's time, you move on to the next stage, transformation. The official name here is citronitis, with the main keyword being yellowness. This is when the concepts you've begun to understand and the energies you've learned to read or work with start consuming more and more of your thoughts. Your spiritual ideas will now start to materialize. You realize that you can will your reality to transform. At this stage, you will likely start actively utilizing your gifts or your learnings to teach and support others. You are now walking the path of spirit. This is where I am at. This is what I am doing with this explainer. Finally, you reach the final stage, transcendence. This is officially called rubedo, and the main keyword associated with it is redness. In our symbolic framework, this is the culmination of the great work. You are now on your way towards attaining the metaphorical philosopher's stone. You reach your most perfect, most elevated state of mind. You have achieved transcendence. If we're being honest, I don't know what happens next. I don't think we achieve complete perfection in one lifetime. I think, on a grander level, consciousness itself is evolving through the stages of the Magnum Opus, and I don't think we can achieve collective transcendence at this point in our spiritual evolution. Individually, I believe this experience will be different for everyone. You may meet your spirit guides or soul family. You may find yourself preparing for your next awakening.
You've attained the stone, right? The metal is yet to be turned to gold. How that happens and what it means will be different for all of you.